Did you guys ever have like a movie when you watched it, like when you were a kid? It was like a good movie, you know? Like you watched it, you were like, all right, this is a fucking film. This is the shit, you know? Like this is a masterpiece. It could have been anything. Like there's so many movies, right? Recently, I've discovered that we've all been sleeping on one fucking movie. On one giant fucking movie that no one seems to care about. Happy Feet. No one really talks about Happy Feet, in my opinion. In my humble fucking opinion, no one talks about Happy Feet. Sorry, there's a motorcycle going on outside. And I hope it's done. The motorcycle. Anyways, I feel like no one talks about Happy Feet. Like, it's such a banger. Like, God, I was talking about it. If you guys don't know me, my name is Daisy. And I have a podcast with my sister-in-law called the Girlies Club Podcast. And we were talking about like our favorite films when we were like younger, like nostalgia and 2000 films. And I told her one of my favorite films is Happy Feet. And she was like, what the fuck? That's dumb. Like, the Happy Feet, she hates that movie. I'm like, girl, how you hate that movie? That movie is so good. In my opinion, you got a star-studded cast. You have 2 fallen celebrities. You know, you have beautiful music, beautiful, the architecture of Antarctica, the way Antarctica looks like. You got a beautiful message, you know, like it's solid. It's a solid film. And I think a lot of us really slip up on that. I mean, you got, first let's talk about cast. You got Mumble, Elijah Wood. If you guys don't know who Elijah Wood is from the Lord of the Rings movies and Back to the Future 2, apparently. I'm looking at this, I didn't even know. I'm doing this fucking video and I didn't even know. Anyway, he's from those movies. He's from those franchises. You got Mumble, right? You got Gloria, Brittany Murphy. Who is Brittany Murphy? Oh, she is a fucking legend. She was in Clueless. She was in Uptown Girls, 8 Mile. And yeah, she's a legend. Sadly, passed away a while ago. Legend, absolute fucking legend in this movie. And then you got, you know, Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman here plays Mumble's dad. His name is Memphis. I just love the way that he sings in this film. Like the way, I never knew Hugh Jackman was such a singer, like until maybe recently. Like I knew Les Miserables and The Greatest Showman, but I didn't really come to terms with it until I realized, oh, this dude is in all these films and all these Broadway shows. Maybe he's a Broadway star. I should have figured that out a long time ago. But he does amazing in this film, singing with Nicole Kidman, who is Mumble's mom, and her name is Norma Jean. And if you don't know who Nicole Kidman is, I feel like I know a lot about people that a lot of people don't know about. Like this whole cast, I'm like, yep. But if you don't know it, like that's fine. That's okay. I think I just grew up very much like into pop culture from the get, and I could thank my mom for that, because she loves her E network and her, back then it was called Oxygen and Bravo, so we would watch that all the time. And Nicole Kidman is married to Keith Urban, who is a country music singer, which if you haven't heard who Keith Urban is, and if you like country, definitely a look up, definitely a great artist. But she's in a movie called The Others, and it says here Eyes Wide Shut, but she plays this one, I forgot what it's called, but I think it's called Australia. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's called Australia. And it's about, you know what? We're talking about Happy Feet. I don't even know. Look it up. Australia. I don't know what it's called. I don't know what it's about, but yeah. So, yeah, you got those people on there. And then you have Robin Williams. Robin, God rest his soul, Williams, who plays Lovelace, the guy, the penguin with the big old belly that talks like a pastor. And then he plays Ramon, and I think that's great. It's such a star-studded cast, in my opinion, because if you don't know them, it's like, how you not know them? But like I said, it's fine. It just depends how you grew up. A lot of people don't really know a lot of these people, so it makes sense. Oh, what? I'm reading and it says Seymour, which is one of the penguins, well, the ones that used to make fun of he's a fucking one that goes, "Don't push me, 'cause I am close to the edge." I didn't know that was Fat Joe. I did not know that was Fat Joe. Now, let me see. How old is Fat Joe? Can you guys take a guess? Wow. I thought Fat Joe was like 40. He's 53. Holy shit. He's 53? Damn. I mean, good on the guy, good aging, but holy shit, I didn't think he was gonna be like so old. Anyway, I love guessing like celebrity like ages. Let's do 2 more, and then that's it. We'll get back on track. Let's see. Let's do DJ Khaled. How old is he? Oh my god. Nah, that's not bad. Actually, I kind of figured it was this. I don't know why I said oh my god. I over-exaggerated that. He's 47, which is understandable. I thought he was in his like 40s. Definitely not 30s. 40s made sense. All right, let's do one more. Let's do Rick Ross. No, Rick Ross. Oh, wow, he's the same age as DJ Khaled. He's 47. See, I kind of figured those. Rick Ross, I figured would be older. I don't know. Fat Joe just kind of threw me for a loop. I swear. I don't know what happened there. Just really did. Anyway, yeah. So you have a star-studded cast. Okay, so that is what gets me there. Okay, and then you have a tragic story. It's not tragic. Hold on. Rewind. It's not tragic. It's more like Mumble is, different. He's special. He's something else. And I always found that the different, like the art, what's it called? The trope of like, he's different. He's special. He's different. He doesn't fit in, but he somehow changes the world. I kind of like that trope. Call me cheesy, I don't care, but I kind of like it. So he's different in the way all the fucking penguins can sing. He can't fucking sing. They all have a beautiful voice, and he's the only one that can't sing, but he has like a rhythm, and he goes with his feet. And he's able to like fit in that way, in his own way, but obviously everyone else is like, no, you don't fit in. His parents even like take him to like singing lessons, and the singing lessons lady fails, and she's like, girl, your son is doomed. And he's like, oh crap, like I'm doomed. Like I'll never find a mate. I'll never make an egg, because that's how it was back with them, I guess. The dad was in denial, denying that his son, there was anything wrong, and his mom was just a little more caring. And so, yeah. And you know what I also realized is that he was always the fuzzy one. He never like took off his fuzz. So I feel like maybe Mumble had like a version of like some kind of disability or something, don't you think? Like, look, I don't want to say it, but I think you know what I'm saying. Like, I think he had something, you know? He had something. Okay? And I feel like maybe, like I said, maybe I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he had something, right? And maybe that's what plays into this, okay? And so I just find the choreography so beautiful throughout the movie. I think so. First of all, we talked about the cast. We talked about a little bit about like the story behind the story, and now we have the art that is the movie. The way they animated the penguins is so lifelike. All of this is in my opinion, okay? All of this is in my opinion. They animated the movie so lifelike. I think that the penguins look amazing. Like, they look like real penguins. Like, no shit, they're supposed to be real penguins, but they look like real penguins, you know? And the fact that there's the Antarctica looks just like Antarctica would, you know, like, I don't know, I find the art just so mesmerizing. It's so beautiful. And for the time, I mean, when did this release? See, I'm doing all this shit and I'm not even like, I don't even have my research done. But what I'm saying is, like, 2006 is when Happy Feet first released. That's a long time. Oh my god. We're in 2023, so it's gonna be 2024. So in 3 more years, it's gonna be, in 3 more years, that means that movie would have came out 20 years ago. Holy shit. That freaks me out. Every time I think of shit like that, like, it freaks me out. Anyway, yeah, 2006, and for it to look that like real and beautiful in terms of its art and its CGI and shit, like, I think it looks really great. I think it's really great, and it doesn't get appreciated enough. Now, we talked about its art style, which is really great. Again, now let's talk about the music. Okay, the music. The reason why I say Happy Feet is a very underappreciated film is because of the music. They have lots of beautiful songs, which, I mean, my favorite would probably be when they all kind of sing that Boogie Wonderland like remix thing. I'm a sucker for like those kinds of remixes and like mashups. There you go, mashups. That it's just so cool, like the way they mashed it up together, and the fact that Brittany Murphy's voice and Elijah Wood, thankfully didn't have to sing. Elijah Wood didn't have to sing, but he, you know, Mumble was able to do the steps, and Brittany Murphy was able to sing with her beautiful voice, and you had like a whole different cast just like coming in and singing, and it was like a big old musical. I think that was beautiful, and the way it all just kind of went together, it was great. I don't think I could really play the music and stuff, but it's a good one, just the way she sings. And then when they have their graduation night, and Mumble was invited. He was invited, but he was like on a different rock because he couldn't stop trying to sing. He was just going, ah, wah, Wah, wah. And they were like, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. You don't belong on this rock. Fuck out of here. Poor Mumble. They did that to him. And so when she sings the Somebody to Love by Queen, that cover was great. And then I love Hugh Jackman singing his little introduction song when he meets Norma Jean. See, I like all the songs. All the music and all the choreography is great. I just loved it. Now, that's like a big part of it. I really love it. It may feel like I'm going fast, but it's because I could watch the whole movie and go tit for tat, tit for tat, tit for tat. Like, look at this. This is why it's great, you know? And like, but it's basically just an overall summary of like, you know. Anyway, and I think it provides a lot of comedic relief now that I'm thinking about it. About the story. I was going to get into the story part now. The story is beautiful. You have Mumble, who, like I said, the trope of like, he's different, he doesn't fit in, but he's gonna change the world. They don't have fish in their ocean, apparently. I guess they're like figuring out like, why isn't there fish? And the penguins themselves, they have like this kind of religion thing where they think that something else is really happening, and there's a religious reason behind everything. Sorry, I was hearing knocking noises and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Anyway, where was I? The story. The story is great because you have that trope, right? And there's no fish in their ocean, so they have like this religious thing going on where they think, you know, he's some kind of demon child. Look, I'm just going off based on what I think about the film. They think he's like some kind of demon child. And, you know, yeah, that's it. They just think he's some kind of demon child that has something to do with the fish. And because in the beginning, Memphis dropped the egg, causing, you know, Mumble to be that way. I should have mentioned this earlier. Memphis dropped an egg, causing Mumble to be disabled, I guess, like different, I guess you could say. Quote unquote, don't quote me. I guess someone was knocking. Oops. So now that Memphis thinks he cursed the entire penguin population, he's feeling guilty. So he doesn't want anything to do with his son. And so his son is just trying to fit in, you know, he's trying to do his thing. And then they graduate or whatever. I don't even know how they went to school. Like, I don't know. Like, one minute they were little and then the next they were like huge and then they just graduated. I don't know. And so all of a sudden they're free. They go to the water and they go hunt supposedly, but there's no fish. And Mumble gets put into this other like kind of where other penguins are. And he didn't even realize there was other penguins, so he got there somehow, and then he ends up meeting his 5 amigos. I don't even know their names, but I know one of them's Ramon. He meets those people, those penguins, and then he becomes friends. Like, he's chilling, and he goes on his adventure, goes back, and he finds out that something's happening to the fish, and he's gonna go find out. And he finds out, like, there's this big old scene where he sees like alien stuff, and he hears the birds talking about alien stuff. So he's like, I'm gonna go figure out what's going on with the fish. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I'm gonna go figure out what's wrong with the fish. So he thinks he's gonna go find out what's wrong and fix it. And he goes, and his friends go, and then it becomes this whole beautiful story about how fish and how about fish. It's a whole story about how us as humans are over-consuming. We're over-consuming fish. And this is a real story, and this was 2006, so imagine how it could impact now. I remember now, I think our consumption is way worse. But back then in 2006, it was like we're overfishing and there's not enough food for like the natural habitat of the penguins to eat. And it was like this big thing. It was this big old thing. And I really think it had a profound effect on how we saw the ocean and how we saw fish and how we saw, you know, wildlife in general. So that's why I think it's a really beautiful movie, and it has a beautiful message with great actors and actresses, great choreography. I mean, choreography in the, you know, in the movie, and great singing, great art, architecture, design. Like, it's a good movie. It's a really great movie. And I feel like it just gets slept on, especially when I was talking about it with my sister-in-law, and she literally said she hated that movie. I was like, how dare you? It is a masterpiece. I think, like I said, in my humble opinion, I think it's a masterpiece. And I don't think movies could be this impactful anymore. I think about it, and we get so much we just get so much fed to us on the daily that we don't stop and think about the true impact of everything. Netflix has movies on their own all the time. You know, you got Max Originals, you got Amazon Prime, you got Hulu. And so you don't really get to watch and see the true impact of these movies anymore. Movies are just movies. You know, they're just entertainment at this point. And I don't think people realize, like, just how much a movie could really make its presence, you know? And when I was little, like, this movie used to be like, you know, I mean, I was 2006, I was probably like 9 at the time. So, like, I was able to get an impact out of it, even as a 9-year-old. And I don't think anybody else, you know, having so much stimulation, constant, you know, what is the word I'm looking for? Just constant, like, news feed, you know? Like, you're just having so much things to focus on, to see, that you just end up not focusing. And yeah, I just really wanted to dedicate this little video to Happy Feet, you know, because there's so many movies that just go overlooked, you know? And I kind of like talking about them because I really am, like, I kind of just like to really, like, dive into film and stuff. And I know that's a lot of people, but I have never really seen anyone talk about Happy Feet, and it's just such a good film that needs to be recognized, and I feel like it needs to get put up there, you know, just put up there in, like, the, you know, impactful films, I guess. Even though it's a animated movie, a lot of people don't. You gotta give props to animation, you know. And I think, well, this is what, 20th Century Fox. I could be wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a good one. And I recommend it. It's on HBO Max, and if you don't have HBO Max, fuck, that's it. I mean, if you don't have a Max subscription, then you can rent it, like, anywhere else. That's fine. But yeah, I think it's on YouTube for free. I'm not gonna lie. I think I just saw it. Oh no, you have to rent it. My bad. But yeah, it's a good movie. So yeah, and if you've made it this long through the video, awesome. If you haven't, it is what it is. It's fine, you know. But I really wanted to get this out there. It's an important message for me to really get out there. I will be posting content on my own sometimes, just because I really like creating, and I think it's important to just keep putting what's out there sometimes, you know, because maybe someone can relate out there. You never know. So, without a doubt, what the fuck? So, without further ado, this is Daisy, and thank you for watching in my channel. I'll see you in the next one.
Ain't no party like a techno party.